Guys, I wanted to share this loadout with you because it is a loadout I have been using in Court of Blades to essentially brute force each of these encounters. Now, funny enough, this build leans heavily on 2 trace rifles, which I can't believe I'm actually recommending trace rifles inside of PvE. But with the new artifact mods, trace rifles are absolutely cooking. We just did a damage test here recently, and the combination of harsh refraction substantially increases the DPS of all of our trace rifles. Today, guys, we're gonna go over this build that I'm using here for those out there that are looking to brute force their way through Rushdown and especially Court of Blades. Now, let me also just mention here, we put out a guide already on Act 2 and also Court of Blades. There are mechanics that are involved, and I highly suggest leaning into those things, especially in the later rounds. If you got a boss that's immune because you're standing in some taken icky, I don't care how good your damage is. In that situation, you have to adhere to the mechanics. With that being said though, the 2 trace rifles that are greatly impressing me is number 1, the Dungeon Trace Rifle Unsworn. This is a strand trace rifle that you can get with detonator beam and rewind rounds, and it is fantastic. The reason why this one is especially good is because it's strand and we have Unraveling Orbs as an artifact perk. Now, Unraveling Rounds is fantastic. The reason why it's so good here in this act is because of harsh refraction. Trace rifles do more damage to targets afflicted by elemental debuffs matching their elemental type. Now, during our damage testing, we tested all types of trace rifles, whether it be trace rifles with jolting feedback, volatile, or in Unsworn's case, Unraveling Rounds. What I really like about Unraveling Orbs is that it's just so easy to proc. And if you have the boost for this act, this allows your strand weapons to deal increased damage to strand debuff targets. So you're essentially getting like 2 buffs here. Now, the numbers on harsh refraction is even more impressive. For instance, on legendary weapons, when you apply an elemental debuff that matches the elemental type of that weapon, you get a 50% increase in damage. God damn it, fellas. That's disgusting. And this is the case for all legendary trace rifles. For our exotic trace rifles, it's actually a 35% buff. So not as much, but granted, exotics already do more damage to minor enemies, but that also applies to Lodestar as well. And Microcosm doesn't get quite the 35 or 50% buff, but it does get a 20% buff in damage. What I will say is that Unsworn has been a phenomenal trace rifle with these combination of artifact mods that I heavily lean into, whether it comes to clearing ads or even doing damage to high health targets. However, when I really need to kick it up a notch, I swap to our Dero heavy exotic trace rifle, Microcosm. Now, if you have not gotten this trace rifle, we have an entire guide on it, guys. This one is hands down one of the best weapons you could be using in Court of Blades. The reason why that's the case is because you run into so many subjugators, and Microcosm is literally built to shred subjugators. Now, first up, it fires a beam of kinetic light damage, dealing massive bonus damage to shields. More on that in just a second. Its trait, though, is Microcosm imbuement. Final blows of this weapon grant super energy. This weapon gains bonus damage once your super expires. Now, this is fantastic for damage loops. You run in, you cast your super, you come out of it, and boom, you got a nice healthy duration there of Microcosm imbuement to now blow your load, allowing you to do more damage. But then, Microcosm itself deals 400% increased damage to combatant shields. So not only are you getting the 20% increase in damage after you cast your super, if you are hitting shielded enemies, you're getting a 400% increase in damage. Well, lo and behold, guys, subjugators are always coded as shielded. There's a reason why we recommended using Microcosm inside the Dual Destiny mission. Those subjugators at the end get absolutely melted. And as you can see here inside of Court of Blades, the same thing happens. When we get to the end of this, even though Les is literally popping a Geomax super pretty much constantly, yes, he's got a really good build, but my damage is still exceeding his, and that's purely based on Microcosm shredding these subjugators. Every time I see that one of these waves has a subjugator here, I get so hyped because I know that with Microcosm, we're about to completely disintegrate this boss's health. Now, keep in mind, Microcosm is doing all of this all on its own. But then we have harsh refraction, which is giving us that 20% damage buff. As long as there is an elemental debuff that's being applied, whatever the debuff may be, harsh refraction will be procced, giving us an extra 20% buff for Microcosm. Fellas, this loadout has been shredding for me. The other things that I've been using here include things like Storm's Keep, which is an arc aspect that essentially just gives us free bolt charge. We're rocking Spark of Frequency so that we're getting bolt charge even more. I'm also using a pulse grenade with Spark of Shock, just in case I need to get some debuffs to a target to then proc harsh refraction for my Microcosm. If not, though, I do have Unsworn with Unraveling Orbs, giving myself Unraveling Rounds, which can then be applied there to Microcosm. I'll pin this build down below, but I will say this, guys, you're not locked to the Titan class. You can easily use this on Warlock or even Hunter. There's so many subjugators and Court of Blades that Microcosm was already going to be a weapon we were going to consider. The fact that we have Harsh Refraction here makes using double trace rifles a worthy endeavor. The only other thing I would recommend is finding ways to create orbs, whether that's Strand Siphon in my case, or Reaper, where after you pop your class ability, Weapon Final Blows will spawn an orb. I even use Firepower and Heavy-Handed. Little things like this, guys, that allows you to just give yourself an orb. That way you're good. You've got Unsworn with Unraveling Rounds, and you're ready to go. Other artifact mods, though, that did really good for me here include the like of Flashover. You could do Horde Shuttle if you want. You've got Beam Medic, which states that Rapid Trace Rifle Final Blows heals you and nearby allies. Again, I'll have all of this listed in our dim link, and I'm also going to let some of this raw gameplay just play out. That way you can see for yourself just how this weapon handles certain encounters, certain bosses, and you can decide for yourself if this is worth using.
Stand on the circle, boy. Stand on the circle.
The circle. Oh, right there.
The circle over here.
Look. Let's open up my micro. Perfect. Micro again. Micro again. There we go. There's also a buff that you can get from the, there's also a buff we can get that gives us more ammo. We have enough sigil stones for it.
All right, just stay together so we don't
Get
get
town down.
Hey, these captains right here, they just F us up, dude.
Hi, Subjugator again. Barricade on me. Brute forces.
The hell, it just glitched out, right?
What did?
Okay.
Hell. I hit the wrong guy, son of a bitch. Shred this guy.
Nice.
I got barricade right here, guys. Love it, baby, love it.
Oh, wait, why are they in food?
Because we didn't read the
That guy over there, hit on him. Massive. Because we didn't read the shit. I'll go break the light if you guys want to stay there.
good. Oh. Microcosm is built for this. It's fucking built for this. Yeah, we're just brute forcing all of this, man. My name, Ritz. Red. Beautiful. Get out of there, taking stuff. There you go. Oh, perfect. I love it. My favorite. I see shit. There we go. That's pointless. Oh my god, dude. If it's subjugators, it's free, man. Get it going, baby. Get it going. How do you miss an axe? He's right there, damn it. There we go. Boom. Worth. Oh my god, dude. This is our fastest run yet. This is our fastest run yet. Beautiful. That's times 13. We're good. That 9-minute run right there, dude, we were cooking, fellas. Cooking. Oh my god, I had the least amount of damage here, fellas. I'm so proud. I'm so impressed right now. Are we all rocking micro? Paranoidin's also rocking micro. Dude, I think this is the way, man.
Slap that like button like your mama told you right.